And now it's really quiet.
It's all so quiet.
Oh, somebody was going to sing that.
Don't mention Bjork. Don't mention Bjork.
Oh,
Like a
yes,
genie.
we're off to a good start.
From a lamp I have appeared. What are your wishes? I grant wishes now. What are your wishes, Mark and Brad?
I rubbed this Swedish lamp and suddenly
I'd like a
Bjork
packet of Tim
appeared.
Tams that never
Bjork's
runs out.
Icelandic, though.
Yeah,
She's not Swedish.
Oh, sorry.
Don't get that wrong.
You rubbed the leg of an Icelandic pop singer, and Bjork came out of her.
That's the creation myth of Bjork.
We have a cloning program where every Icelandic pop singer we release is a clone of me. Right, well,
Born of a
Tara, that
swan.
was for you. Can we move on now? I will find you and make you my queen. You're going to make Tara a queen. Yes, queen of the Icelandic pop singers.
Fair enough.
She is like Daenerys
Weird
Targaryen.
Doctor
We
Who
hope she's
podcast.
not. She is
Yeah,
queen
this is
of.
what I have to deal with.
She is queen of Bjorks.
Are we here to support you, Rebecca, in this time of need?
You are here to witness the majesty of Bjork.
This is what I like to call human behaviour.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
You
I
will
love
be
it.
spared. You know the name of one of my songs. Right. Well, Bjork, you can go now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Everyone say goodbye.
Bye.
Right, I
Bjork.
will leave, but
Climb
if you
into
don't
that
know who
swan
I
and
am,
fly
you will
away.
join my army of me.
Dun 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 dun. I am the Doctor. This is my section. Earth is under my protection. Planet of birth is Gallifrey. I've got 2 hearts. Your life is saved. Run into the Master Raw Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not Rick. 12 bodies a man. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else. Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, I must dash. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride. It's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space. Oh, what's that? Exterminate.
Cyberman, a Daleks, baby.
Would you like a jelly baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go. A new adventure, Geronimo! I am fantastic, so are you. Best come with me, I'm Doctor Who. Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH. I'm Adam O'Sullivan, and joining me as always, she's wrapped herself up in her longest scarf. It's Nicchia Schutt.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I did not bring my scarf.
Oh, that's
but
a shame.
I do have a Tom
It's actually
Baker
cold in
scarf.
Australia, so why am I not surprised that you have a Tom Baker scarf?
Well, yeah, I'm very tragic. It's also Brisbane, so it doesn't really get cold. Like we
Yeah.
had winter 2 days last week, and now it's over.
It only happens in the mornings.
Yeah.
You take a jacket in the mornings,
And
and then
then-
if for some reason you're out at midnight, you also have a jacket on then.
Yeah, or in the afternoon on the way home, you're going, fucking sick of carrying the stupid jacket I didn't need. Anyway.
Today, we are joined again by friend of the show, Marc Buckingham.
Hello.
Hello. And for his awkward first date with us, it's Brad Daniels.
Hi, I brought roses and some flowers.
Yeah, he did.
Where's the
Chocolates.
corsage?
I ate it. I thought it was edible.
Adam
It
needs
was.
his corsage.
Yeah.
Papa needs his corsage.
Everybody brings a corsage for
Papa
Adam.
needs a corsage. Come on, baby. Bring it in there, baby.
I'm the corsage.
Ooh. You're going to be very big to wear on his wrist.
It was tough to pin him to my lapel, though.
I'm big in all the wrong places.
All right, that's for the adult episode.
Isn't everything we record?
It's all adult
D4WH.
episodes these days.
After
Wait until you hear
dark.
the adult episode. That's some filthy shit. Brad, do you want to go through your history with Doctor Who?
Basically, it's very simple. I grew up in Australia,
Oh, yes.
and therefore I watched Doctor Who.
Oh, okay. Well, that isn't always the case.
Probably not, but I
You
was
grew
of
up
an
at a
age.
certain time in
Yeah, I was
Australia.
of an age when you could not, you literally could not avoid seeing Doctor Who on the ABC. It would be on before the news. And I was from a pretty strict religious family, so I was when I was allowed to watch Doctor Who because it
Wow.
was so
Wow.
evil, so satanic that it was like because it was all the scary stuff. Eventually, my parents ended up watching some of it and realized it was just really badly made science fiction.
So they let you watch it so that you would know that Satanism is really badly made.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like the production values are slow. You don't really have to worry about it.
Christianity, that's where the money is.
Satanism is all about clams that don't move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favourite tale of my dad was like one time we were watching Doctor Who before dinner, and it was a episode of the Invisible Enemy where the Doctor gets injected into himself somehow or something. He's running around inside of it, and there's
It's
the
a
bad
very
guys.
weird-
That checks out. Yep.
Bad guys are running around inside of the Doctor as well, and there was these white blood cells or something like that, which was basically they were like beach balls with bits of fur stuck to it. Okay, and I was watching this, and the bad guys were running around, and one of them fell on the bad guy, and it was like killing, and I was like, oh my god, and it was freaking me out. And my dad says, oh, he's done for. And I said, oh, what is it, Dad? What's got him? And he said, oh, it's a beach ball with some fur stuck on him. And I said, I get it now.
And he ruined the dream
Is
for you.
it the one where Canine was introduced?
Yes. It is the
It
one.
is,
It
isn't
is.
it? Yeah. He was owned by the professor who helped
That's
the
right.
doctor.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Disco dog.
Yeah, that's
Disco
right.
Dog?
Check him out.
K9 is so disco.
Oh, I thought you would say that in the episode someone calls him Disco Dog, and
No.
and the Doctor's like, "What's this shit? I don't listen to no disco."
And he's a little Scottish too, because he's got a
Yes.
little tartan around. I don't know whose tartan it is. I'm claiming him for the McPhersons. That's my line.
He's obviously a terrier. That's
yes.
what they were going for.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that makes total sense now.
He's
Welcome to the Revelations About Canine podcast. This is the first and only episode. So you grew up. Who was your first Doctor, Brad?
It would be Tom Baker. You may
Oh,
have heard
that's
of him.
interesting. No, who's he? Is he the first Doctor or?
I'll slap you. He is the fourth Doctor.
He was only in it for like, I don't know, a year, wasn't he?
Yeah, a couple of
I don't
years,
know.
yeah.
Longest surfing Doctor of all.
Yes.
In some countries, he is the first Doctor because that was the first series that was broadcast in
Yeah.
places like France
And
and
he was,
America.
what, 7 years? 7 years?
7 years, yeah, 7 seasons in a row. Smashed them out.
Oh,
Boom,
he was
nailed
good.
it. Yet to be
Yeah.
defeated.
And there was a lot of goodness in those 7 years. And some really badness as well.
Yeah.
Well, 7 years. Yeah, you would expect some badness.
Well, that's Doctor Who, isn't it? You can have a
Well,
fantastic
that's Doctor
episode.
Who, 7 years of badness, 1 year of goodness.
No, that was my marriage. My first one.
Oh!
Is he upstairs? Can he hear this?
No, that's my second go. I'm starting a collection.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
on the second.
her
Adam's
husband
the third
regenerated
guy.
into this guy.
Yeah. You get all 12 and you're in the condemnation of society.
Sister
Yay.
husbands.
Tom Baker was my first Doctor, which is why I'm so incredibly excited to be here to talk about him on the show.
Oh, we're talking about the War Doctor today. We didn't tell you.
Jesus
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they're going to be at war, right? If we're not talking about Tom Baker.
Did you guys all watch the War Doctor episodes? There's like 7 or 8. No, there's just the one episode.
Yeah, when I found out that you were having trouble finding someone to talk about Tom Baker, I was like, what is wrong with these people?
Well, we weren't having trouble. The person there was a couple of people who were on, and they were like, "Well, actually, I do
Yeah.
prefer this other Doctor more." So we did a bit of rescheduling.
Those people are wrong.
Yeah.
Okay,
The best Doctor ever.
we'll talk about it later. But do you have a? Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it now.
Yeah.
I was going to say what modern Doctor do you like the most?
That's a tough one. I'm not a big, what's the pretty boys guy?
Matt Smith.
David Tennant.
David Tennant. Okay.
So
David
the
Tennant is
best
everyone's
Doctor.
go-to. Not mine.
Oh.
I'd probably go Capaldi.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I like
Yeah.
Capaldi.
Matt
Capaldi.
Smith is mine. I find him more like Tom Baker.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's more like a Patrick Troughton, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. I think he watched a lot of Patrick Troughton because
Yeah.
he said he watched a lot of it and the sort of hobo, the cosmic hobo thing. But there's just some Tom Baker about him in that he can be quite silly and whimsical and then turn on a
Yeah.
dime and be quite. You know, Tom Baker could always kind of make me go, "Oh, he's cross," and then other times, like, "Oh, he's your best uncle," and "Oh no, he's cross now."
Yeah,
Well,
you
Scott
go
Driscoll
from
was
one to
on,
the
and
other.
he said he liked Capaldi because he was very Tom Bakerish.
But Capaldi's more sort of like...
Not for me.
What's the one before Tom?
Oh, that's John Pertwee.
John Pertwee.
John Pertwee.
Yeah, he's a lot more John Pertwee.
He's
than
like
Yeah.
a mean
Baker.
John Pertwee, I
Yeah.
find.
Yeah, a little. He got better the second series and halfway through the first, but at the beginning he was just like cranky.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking the Doctor's about hope and making you feel good, not making you want to slap him in the face.
Oh, I would totally dispute that. It's like
Really?
yeah, it's like the Doctor is...
Oh, excuse me, can we have Mark off the podcast? Yeah, no.
For me, it's like, what is this Doctor about? And so, like, I never expect any Doctor to be any particular way.
But you expect him to be good and a little bit whimsical. They've always had a bit of whimsy.
His whimsy was just different and unpalatable to you. And
Very unpalatable.
He does say, as soon as he regenerates, that his eyebrows are attack eyebrows. So you kind of get a sense that, he's
And
still
he says,
finding
don't
himself.
look in the mirror. It's absolutely furious. And
I love that.
I do love that. Like, and I did really grow to like him. But the day that they did that horrible "The Moon is an Egg" episode, I was already cross about that. And then Clara slapped him, and I thought, good on you, because God, I wanted to. So.
And here I was preparing my recipe for asteroid soldiers to put into the egg. Num 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 num. Come back for our cooking show later.
Little toasty soldiers. Look, I mean, it doesn't matter who. I'll always watch Doctor Who. Sometimes I'll suffer it a bit more.
You heard it here first. Nicchia is never giving up on Doctor Who and therefore never giving up on the podcast.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh my God, Adam's got me locked in for life now.
I will
If you say it on the podcast, it's a contract.
Of the modern Doctors, there is no equivalent to Tom Baker.
No.
There's like, I'm saying as an analog. You can say Pertwee Capaldi, but you can't say someone in Baker because there's no direct comparison. Because Tom Baker, here's the thing that makes him unique: he's an absolute weirdo. He is really a weirdo.
Yeah.
He's not playing a weirdo.
Yeah.
He is a weirdo.
Oh, yeah. If you've read his autobiography,
Yeah.
that's really him, actually.
He said once when they was interviewed, he said to the person, he said, I haven't got time for any more questions, but just make up the answers. I do that all the time. I mean, he really is, and I think I've told you that story. They used to say on the production, he was so weird that if he said, I'm the Doctor, they'd all go, oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, yep.
Wow.
He's a very unusual man, but I really like him. I think he was a little delicate too, in that he did change dialogue and he did argue a little bit with the directors and stuff, because after playing the Doctor for 7 years, you would kind of feel like you know who your character is. And
totally.
if you remember that they're writing one script a week, I think he had every right to go, no, Doctor wouldn't say that.
Who's wearing the scarf around here? It's me! Me, the Dr. Tom Baker. What do you mean it's 1993 and I'm not the Doctor anymore? What do you mean I'm in the middle of a subway? I am the Doctor, goddammit. Who are you? The police?
Take me to a
alien
quarry
police.
of rocks.
Yeah.
And then a corridor.
He's like in a nursing home, he's got dementia, and he's just screaming, I am the Doctor. And his nurse is just like, yeah, whatever, Tom.
You've just written an episode right there.
Let me use my sonic screwdriver. He's got a knife. He's got a knife.
Now
It's not a knife, but it's still a knife.
we all know he ended up curator of the Undergallery. That's what happened to the fourth
Eventually. We start as we always do with Doctor Who news.
Woo!
We have mentioned Doctor Who and virtual reality on the show before. I think a VR Doctor Who game would be the closest any of us would get to travelling with the Doctor.
Yeah, apparently it's not real. I still have not confirmed that hypothesis, but people are saying Doctor
Virtual reality is not real.
No, the Doctor.
Oh.
That's what I was
The
thinking
Doctor's
too.
not real. The TARDIS isn't real.
If you'll excuse me, we're just going to pause this podcast. I just need to have a word with Nicchia. What do you mean it's not real?
The
do you mean?
TARDIS Doctor Who. It's not real. He's not real. He's a character.
Unless one of us becomes the Doctor.
Yeah,
exactly,
I didn't know if you'd worked it out yet.
What do you mean?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. He lives with Santa. He lives with Santa. He lives with Santa.
You did this, Nicchia.
I want the Doctor!
Well,
No.
Okay, here's your scotch. Stop crying.
He lives with Elvis.
All right, let's keep going.
I'll get you Valium later.
Yes, it is like this every single week, guys.
Doctor Who Edge of Time has just been announced for a September 2019 release.
Didn't we just have this in the news?
No, this is a different game.
What? They're doing
This is
two.
This is not The Runaway. This is a different game.
I hope they're not both shit.
I don't think the other one wasn't shit.
Oh, okay, good.
And for those listening, we'll be talking about that in a later episode, which has already been recorded. Wibbly wobbly timey wimey, don't worry about it.
Well, it's just that all the Doctor Who games that I'd played up until now
Yes.
had been shit.
It's just short. That one's short.
Oh, that's all right. I can do short.
This one is being touted as a full virtual reality Doctor Who game written by some of the Doctor Who scriptwriters.
Ooh.
Okay.
There'll be a giant clam in it,
Hopefully. Ooh. No, the giant clam's writing the episode.
and everything will be plastic.
Yeah, everything will be made out of foam. It will involve solving puzzles to defeat enemies, retrieving crystals to save the universe, and locating the Doctor.
Now, what sort of puzzles, I wonder? Because if they start with mathematical problems, I'm just getting out of the game and moving on with my life.
The key of time.
Yeah,
There's a puzzle.
Oh,
There's a puzzle for you.
It'll be a puzzle where there's one wall with coloured shapes on it and another wall with black and white shapes, and the Doctor will get out his scarf and go, this measurement, it must be this button. Sorry, I watched Pyramid of Mars, and...
I love the Pyramid of Mars.
Oh, that 4th episode is fucking trash.
You're trash. And your mother.
Did you see the hand? When Sutak is unfrozen and he says, I'm coming to get you, Doctor, he's trying to get up and his headpiece is so big. You can see just behind the chair he's on, this hand helps him to get up.
Oh, wow. He's got a freaky physiognomy.
That is Martian technology.
I'm going to have to go back and watch
He
that
has
again.
an ass hand.
Oh my
Don't we all?
That's useful.
Don't we all? That's
It
how I
is.
get up after we record.
Last of the Osirans with the extra hand.
The ass hand.
The extra
So
hand.
then you got 2 clean hands for non-wiping. I love
Oh.
Well, semi-clean.
Semi. You
Little
do touch
rude,
things.
little rude.
Anyway,
American
Sorry.
rude.
Salty, I prefer.
Edge of Time is being developed by Maze Theory, a studio dedicated to VR experiences and made up of employees who have worked for Activision and PlayStation. The teaser trailer shows a Dalek, a Weeping Angel, and what could be either a new monster or a particularly disfigured Dalek mutant in a washing machine.
Oh.
Yeah, don't know.
I don't know. But that does remind me, completely off the topic, that Spike Milligan wanted to be buried in a washing machine so that in thousands of years when they dug him up, they'd think he washed himself to death. That was his joke. I love Spike Milligan.
Bless him.
And did he get his wish?
No, he just died, but he does have in Latin written on his headstone, "See, I told you I was sick." So I do like that. He was always funny, Spike. Odd, but funny.
There's a Doctor Who crossover with Spike, of course.
Oh, he would have made a great Doctor Who, although, good God, you couldn't have controlled him, I don't think.
You know the famous Pakistani Dalek sketch.
Yes, I think,
yes, we watched it the other day.
Extremely
dear.
racially sensitive.
Yeah, very, very PC.
Well, it was, what, 60s, 70s?
You know, I'm surprised they didn't play it after the Demons of the Punjab episode.
Yeah.
That would have been a great bookend.
Pakistani, yeah.
What I do like about that sketch is that he just keeps running into everything and breaking everything.
That might be the only thing you can like about that sketch.
Yeah, the rest of it's
In this
very
day and age.
racist.
I'm just imagining Demons of the Punjab and like, oh, my brother died. Put him in the curry.
Yeah. Put him in the curry.
The trailer ends with the Weeping Angel jumping out of the player, so be prepared to be utterly terrified if that happens in the game.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, they have that when you go to the Doctor Who experience and you fly the TARDIS and then you walk through and then they have, it's like VR and they've got like them coming towards you, angels and Cybermen, and you're in this big blue room. Did you have that, do that when you...
I can't remember. I don't think so.
I remember it because Dave and I both ducked because it made us quite well.
Are you talking about 3D?
Yeah, well, it was all set up 3D, but they just looked like they were coming straight at you, and it was so cool. But I don't remember having funny glasses on. Maybe I did. I was pretty drunk for the whole thing.
Maze Theory has yet to release a game, however, they are working on a game based on the TV show Peaky Blinders.
Ooh.
Prime for making a VR game, apparently, as well as an original game called The Vanishing Act that looks to incorporate ARG elements.
ARG.
Augmented reality game. So basically...
Or ARG?
Or arg. It's pirates is basically what
yeah,
I
it's
say.
pirates, yeah. It's
So what I'd like to know is, I'm off the topic again.
Sure. When are we ever on the topic?
No, really.
So come on, the election last weekend.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Went from 0 to 50.
Who voted for the Pirate Party in the Senate?
Oh, I did.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell are they?
Yeah, I'll go-
laughed
go
and
for
Freedom,
laughed.
freedom of internet, basically.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted them to wear pirate things and go,
No,
arr.
no.
Oh, I've gone off them now.
Well, did you go out
I
and
take my
volunteer
vote
for them?
back.
Did you help shape their policies?
No,
Did you...
that's true.
Yeah, I looted a lot of boats and got nothing out of it. The people that I kidnapped told me they weren't going to vote for me because I murdered their captain.
Oh, they can't distribute the booty. That's the problem.
They can't distribute the booty like I distribute the booty.
Yeah,
Oh,
baby. Yeah, distribute that booty, baby. Yeah.
That's me twerking.
Okay.
I just would have liked to seen them run by the dread pirate Roberts from The Princess Bride. But anyway.
As you wish.
I just like to say that my booty is a socialist because everyone gets a piece.
Oh.
Ooh, is that a slam on me or everyone else? No,
I thought you were going to say there's enough to go around.
So, yeah. That too.
I was going to say you get a piece whether you want it or not.
From each according to their
At
ability.
least I said that everyone would get a piece if they would like it. You're just like, oh yeah, nobody actually wants it.
Oh no, I want it, but you know.
That's why he's your
I want
husband.
Adam. I've always wanted him desperately.
The publisher PlayStack.
See, he plays hard to get with me.
Just have a cry and then start.
Take scotch. Take
Everyone
scotch.
leave Fatty alone. What?
Oh.
I thought that's what you guys wanted.
We can be mean to ourselves. You're not allowed to be mean to us.
No.
Don't you dare say that about Nicchia.
Yeah, that's right. Another fart.
Boom! Yes! Back in the game,
Back in
baby.
the game. He's doing a dance. He's doing a dance.
It's working.
Do a
You're all
little
looking
dance.
away. You're all looking away. Woo!
I definitely am.
Hands back on. Recording on.
I want you to do a little dance and make a little love and get down tonight.
I was. You said it was gross.
I did.
Publisher PlayStack have their beginnings in mobile games such as Cubity, Dash, and Dodge.
What?
My favourite game.
Dig That Gold.
Oh, yeah. Gold digger. I'm a gold digger from way back.
Ah, yeah.
I ain't saying you a gold digger,
Yeah.
but thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Pay me.
Because do not finish that sentence.
And Moe Lawn.
Mowy lawn.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like my type
They're
of
all
game.
shitty mobile games.
If you like Mowy Lawn, you're going to love Airtasker. Because there's a lot of people who want you to play that game.
There's actually live streams where you can watch people mowing their lawns and not in the way that everyone.
It's your site, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Website. Just
It's
say it.
Adam mowing the lawn. Go, get that booty into it.
Get that booty into it.
That's what I
New
say.
catchphrase. for
D4WH, get that booty into it.
I'm glad we got a new logo, new slogan for the show.
It's like the
Register
show,
that URL.
D4WH, get that booty into it.
Okay, that's phonetically for all those who are wondering.
Don't overpronounce it, you dickhead.
But I'll have you know that the publisher PlayStack have also branched out into publishing VR games called Dick Wild
I thought that was going
And-
to be Dick what?
and the successful Dick Wild 2.
It's not enough to be a dickwad once, you're a dickwad twice.
He said wild, not wad.
Yeah, Dick Wild.
Wow.
So that's who will be publishing the Doctor Who video game.
It's in safe hands.
How could it fail? That is
How
the question.
could it fail?
And every single one of their games sounds like a pokies machine, doesn't
Yes, it does.
Fun gold.
Dig that gold.
That's going to be the shortest VR game in existence. It's
Yeah.
only going to last like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I lost.
Yeah, it's just one of those Doctor Who like slot machine games.
Yeah.
Where you win virtual money and you're like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just playing the Doctor Who virtual game.
Yeah. And I'm just winning money.
But you get to pull on a Dalek eye stalk.
Ooh.
And then it
worth
shoots
it.
in your face.
With the
talking.
sucker, with the sucker on your
Damn
head.
it.
Okay.
I reckon those suckers would fit on your head, like if you were like baldy.
We've seen them. They mold to take over your entire head.
Oh, that's true. I wanted a non-moldy one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get you one for Christmas.
Thank you.
Form-fitting and attractive. That's
Yeah.
the way it should
I
be.
just have one question. What is On Topic like?
We
I
will
really
find
don't
out
know.
eventually. One
We're
day.
about to
It's
get that.
never happened. It hasn't.
Well, you'll find out that we record for like 3 hours and then we cut it down to an hour and you're like, oh, were they able to make up an hour of on-topic stuff?
And then you'll listen to it and go, oh, did I say that? God, I'm funny.
Hello, I am Mark and I am talking about Tom Baker.
Merry Christmas.
I have your child.
Tom Baker is good.
Ish.
All right, thanks for joining us on Doctor Who.
Okay, that's we're done for the day.
Look, all joking aside, I really want this game to be good.
I do
I don't
too.
have high hopes, but let's hope.
Well, if they've done Quiggly Pants and Dick
Quiggly
Wad,
pants. Oh,
They
I
did
love
Mowy
it.
Lawn. How can you go wrong?
I'm going to get that.
How much wilder could Dick get?
Ew.
Oh my
now
god!
you guys will be too young, but we would have grown up with the Dick and Jane stories, did we? And
Yes.
Fluff and Nip.
Yes.
Oh, you're too young too.
I'm too young. Look
I
at me.
remember Dick and Jane. See?
Yeah.
The game will be released for the Vive, Oculus, and PlayStation VR, so I will be able to play it.
Woot.
Well, I'll come round to your place and try it
I
out.
can't play it anymore.
All right, you love me at my house. But he won't let me into his house. You go.
Maybe I live on the street.
Yeah.
Evidence dungeon.
The mean streets.
The mean streets of Doctor Who. Today we are talking about the Fourth Doctor portrayed by Tom Baker. The Fourth Doctor first appeared uncredited at the end of the last episode of Planet of the Spiders.
Oh, so good.
His first full episode was Robot, which aired from December 28th, 1974 to January 18th, 1975, before I was born.
Before I was born too.
Yes, well, decades before you were born.
Babies.
Speak up, Sonny.
What?
Hang on, I get my glasses.
Perhaps the most well-known Doctor, the Fourth Doctor was on screen for 172 episodes in 7 seasons over 8 years, the longest-running Doctor to be continuously on screen to date.
Yeah.
Did you know that he is actually the quintessential Doctor?
He is, yes.
Because The Simpsons, when they do a Doctor Who, it's Tom Baker.
Yep.
Anywhere else they do a Doctor Who little pop culture thing, it's always Tom Baker.
That is right, yeah.
Always. He is Doctor Who in the pop culture mind.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just because of his scarf, I think.
Yeah, look, I think the scarf, but geez, do you think? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
the
like
rest of them had queer outfits. It could have been Colin
absolutely,
Baker.
but no one had anything that was so just iconic as the scarf.
Yeah.
You can pick him out of a lineup.
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
have to see the face. It's like the guy with the stupid scarf.
Yeah.
That's the guy we're after. Like no other Doctor had a trademark like that.
Because I think it's the scarf plus the fact that he did it for so long and did it so well and he was so popular.
I
think it's because
Yeah.
that it was during when he was the Doctor, that's when it became a worldwide phenomenon. Mm-hmm. So the previous 3 Doctors was just kind of popular in the UK, but then with the Fourth Doctor, the US was getting into it, it was being shipped to other countries and...
Yeah, but it was only doing that because of Tom Baker.
Yeah.
They could have had Fred Bloggs and it could have just stayed the way it was.
I
Tom
still
Baker...
hope that Fred Bloggs will come back and do his
I hope he
thing as a
will.
Doctor.
with his trademark slippers.
Yeah.
That's right. I love Doctor
Blog slippers.
2.5.
Yeah.
No, I do think that he is the reason that Doctor Who kept going when it was taken off air. I think it's the love of his era and his Doctor that kept a lot of people going. Because I think he's the first Doctor for a lot of the showrunners and stuff,
You can't argue with that.
Yeah,
Because everyone who liked the
he's
first 3
amazing.
Doctors is dead. So
that's
I like the... I like John Burdry and Patrick Troughton.
thanks for coming back from beyond the grave to be on this podcast.
I liked Troughton. I watched what I could find of his when they repeated it on the ABC before 2005 when Christopher Eccleston started, and that was really good. I really liked him, the Cosmic Hobo. He was really good. I liked Pertwee, but no, Tom Baker. He made it. And Robot was such a great episode.
Well, that's why we're talking about him today.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's good.
In polls conducted by the Doctor Who magazine, the Fourth Doctor is consistently voted the best Doctor, losing only 3 times. Once to Sylvester McCoy in 1990.
What? Get out!
Outrageous.
Just after the show
Talk
went off the
about election
air.
results.
Yeah,
Hello,
yeah.
what's going on
Oh,
there?
I call bullshit on that.
The results might have been stacked considering he was like the most recent Doctor and people were a bit upset that the show was
Well,
being
I did
cancelled.
like Sylvester, but he ain't no Tom.
What was the quiz like? Do you have a umbrella with a question mark on the end? Oh, you win. Oh, sorry, Tom, you don't have one.
Do you not don't like Dr. Tom Baker, Sylvester McCoy? Yes.
Exactly.
I think it was because of Tom Baker's negative gearing policy. Actually,
People said they couldn't get behind Tom Baker.
No, I always said that. And when he said about the Adani mine, I said, Tom, it's not going to happen. But anyway, had to go.
he said we need more quarries. We need more quarries.
More quarries.
What are
Less
these
mines.
other times he didn't win?
The other 2 times he lost to David Tennant.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So more modern.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, what did they ask everyone who was 12? Because everyone who's 12
Yes, they did ask me. Thank you very much.
He was 12.
Whatever. You're not my mum.
Yes, I am.
As much as I want you to be my mum.
David Tennant's
Wow.
great.
You want your wife to be your mother.
Yeah.
I love that country song. You want your wife
That
to
bit
be
stays
your
in.
lover.
It's
That's good because we're in
You want your
Alabama.
mom to be your dog.
Oh, see, Adam's my work husband. I've discovered.
You want your pickup to cook your meals.
Cook your mum.
Well, he talks over you, so it's going
Yeah,
well.
I know.
You want your shotgun to show you some love.
It's called the Country Stroke song. Where
Country Stroke Show.
they're having troubles.
I love that. I love that old TV show. Country Strokes we got. Country Strokes we got. Country Strokes we got.
Now that makes me feel like a...
Country Strokes is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Boom, boom.
And it's still not funny.
All right, the Fourth Doctor. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
All right, who's seen Robot?
I got show of hands. Yes.
Visual media, heads up, everyone.
Well, you can say yes or
So,
no.
okay, well, let's start with what episodes we've seen. I'm assuming that the three of you, and I'm pointing to Beck, and Beck.
Beck's not fat. You're the fat.
Oh, I didn't say that, Mark. But thanks for chiming in. Are all of your jokes just going to be about how fat people are? Stand up, Tubby. Stand up, Tubby.
I'm out and proud.
Jiggle it.
I'll show you my chunk.
I
yes,
think I'm going
please.
to quit the podcast now.
Oh, don't. If we don't have Beck, I'm not coming back.
I'll kill Mark. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
That
wow.
makes things
What
better.
a place to talk about it on a
Mark,
podcast.
we have to go for a walk now.
Anyway,
Mark.
back on topic.
On this episode of Serial, we listened to the podcast where someone said, I'm going to kill someone, and then they did. This is the shortest series of Serial we've ever had before.
Right. So, Robot.
Robot, yeah, good
I'm
show.
assuming that Nicchia, Brad, and Tubby,
Yeah.
Mark,
Tubby fat.
Brad, Nicchia, and Mark, you've seen all of the Tom Baker episodes, or most of them. Am I correct?
Definitely all.
All of them.
All
Okay,
of
Beck, what episodes have you seen?
The first two of the Ark in Space,
Right.
and then the first
Bubble
one
wrap.
of Genesis in the Daleks. But I did only start...
Genesis in the Daleks.
Genesis. Oh,
I love when Phil Collins' Genesis was in the Daleks.
They played live.
hang on.
Exterminate.
Let Rebecca speak,
I'm
please.
more of a Peter Gabriel era Genesis fan.
Oh, I got
Wow.
schooled on Genesis by
Yeah.
Boom.
a fetus.
It's a bit controversial, so don't mention Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I love when they did that ad with the gorilla. That's my favourite one of their songs.
Yeah, me too. And
gorilla
then
song.
then there was chocolate in it.
It's called the gorilla song, right?
Yeah.
The gorilla chocolate
Yeah.
song.
Shock the Monkey, I think it was.
Yeah.
Shock
Peter
the
Gabriel,
monkey.
not
Shock
Genesis.
the monkey.
Yeah.
We
I
don't
could
like
school you
it.
guys all day on Peter Gabriel and Genesis.
Okay, anyway, so Tom
Okay,
Baker.
Sledgehammer
hey.
was my favourite one
Yeah.
they did.
I have seen Genesis the Daleks, the Ark in Space, and the Pyramid of Mars, and that's it.
The Horror Fang Rock?
No, did I mention it in those three that I mentioned?
No, but I thought you said last night that you were watching the Horror Fang. You rolled over in bed and you said to me, I'm watching.
One of these guys did.
We both did. We both watched
I
some
rolled
of-
over in bed and I said there were two in the bed, and the fat one said, roll over. Roll over.
Oh boy.
So Nicchia screamed and said, get out of my house.
Oh!
I think it's weird that we all had to watch it in bed together, but anyway. No, Robot, I thought, because that was your first intro. So what did you think when you first saw Tom? And remember he came in and out of the TARDIS all the time in those different outfits?
Yeah, okay, so
remember that?
I don't, as I said earlier, I had restricted Doctor Who access while I was growing up because of its satanic nature.
Yeah.
A man changing clothes? Not
Yes,
in my watch.
what? Multiple clothes changes in one day? Shame, shame, shame.
You put your Sunday clothes on and then you go to church and that's all God will see you in.
That's right. The less time you spend naked, the less time God has to see you that way.
Excuse me, sir. God will see you now.
Oh,
thank you. Oh, fantastic. Ooh, I'm naked.
I'm dressed.
So I have no recollection of seeing that the first time.
Oh.
I saw it later when I was a grown-up person. But yeah, so I'm going to remove myself from this conversation.
Well, the thing was...
Oh, God, where did he go? Where did he go?
He's
My
literally-
God,
The
he's-
magic of radio's alive.
Does he have a cloak of invisibility? Oh, my God.
His chameleon circuit is working.
He looks like a chair now.
All I saw him do was press Control X and he disappeared.
So, Robot.
Robot.
The robot was rubbish.
Oh, God, we're going to
what a way
fight
to
already,
start.
Nicchia.
We're talking about Tom Baker and you just want to
The
say the
robots-
robot was
Oh,
rubbish?
I loved it. Look, The robot going back and watching it was rubbish. When I was a kid, I loved the robot.
Keep talking, fatty.
Oh, Jesus.
my God.
That's the name of this episode. Keep talking, fatty.
Oh, you brought me back with that one.
Yeah, I thought you were invisible.
I won't have anything said bad about that robot. It was
Really?
a feat of engineering. I've seen it in the flesh. It is amazing.
Oh, really? You've seen it in the flash?
Yeah, it is so good.
I loved it until they blew it up and it got really big.
Did they have to build two versions, like the normal size version and the 100-foot
That's
version?
what I thought.
Yeah, no. I thought as a kid too, wow, imagine building that. Oh, really? So, well, look, I'm saying as a kid I loved it. Going back, I went, the big 20,000-foot robot looked really bad, but that's because I'm used to CGI from now. You know, not the same. But I loved the story between the robot and Sarah.
Oh, it's so good.
It was just beautiful. I mean, it's their take on King Kong.
Such a beautiful love story.
It
Yeah.
is.
Are you sure you don't mean like the Iron Giant, the Iron Robot? What's that movie?
It's Iron Giant.
Was
Iron
a
Giant.
rip-off of
That was a
Robot, I think.
terrible movie.
But I loved when he kept coming out and changing costumes, and he'd come out with these like Viking outfit on, and Sarah'd go, no. And he'd go back into the TARDIS and he'd come out looking like a clown, and he had all these great outfits.
When I saw it as a child, I'm going, oh my God, those were possible options.
Yeah.
I literally believed, wow, he could have been a Viking for an entire...
7 years.
I believed it.
They filmed the live reactions to the possible costumes, and they just had Elizabeth Sladen being like, "Oh God, no, absolutely not." Well, Elizabeth, you have to pick one of them, all right?
And I like the way that Harry says to him, "Oh, you got to get back into bed. You know, I'm the doctor." And he goes, "No, I'm the doctor." And he goes, "No, you're not well." And he gets down, and he does all these push-ups. "See, I'm well. He's really manic.
And then he does the skipping with him.
Oh, that's right. He starts skipping, and then he gets with a skipping rope, and then he gets closer to Harry, and Harry has to join in, and he's
my
skipping
God.
with him. And that was our introduction to Tom Baker.
Like,
Fun.
this guy might be a weirdo.
Yeah.
But fun.
Yes, very fun.
When's this guy going to start acting?
Never. So you didn't watch Fang Rock, but which was the other one you watched? The Pyramid of Mars.
Pyramid of Mars, yeah.
I love the Pyramid of Mars.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
80% of it is really good.
Well, if we start doing a podcast about things I hate, then I will spend the whole time going, I hate that.
I actually
hate that.
counted in the
I
last
hate
episode that I edited how many times you said like or love, and it was 47 times in an hour and 15 minutes.
All right, I've got to come up with new words.
I like that you did that.
Yeah, you're earning your pay.
Thank you.
I love it.
I don't get paid. That's the funny part.
Ah.
So what is it about the Fourth Doctor that you like so much? What traits about the Fourth Doctor?
No, you didn't tell me. What did you think of the Pyramid of Mars?
Yeah.
I said 80% of it was really good.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
And the other 20% was utter trash.
That's not very descriptive. I'd love to... Well, maybe we can go back to that.
Well,
Did you like
someday we're going to review it, so I'm assuming,
Oh,
you know...
okay.
Oh,
you
okay.
wanna keep that. Fair enough.
fair
Keep
enough.
it under wraps.
I'll
It's
keep it
one of
under
my
wraps.
favourites.
Yeah,
It's one of my
it is.
favourites.
I can see why, but yeah, that fourth episode, whoa, boy, oh boy.
It's one of my favourite. Plus, there's another one called The Mask of Mandragula. And everyone hates that story, but I love the beginning because he's taking her on a tour of the TARDIS. And that has always been my favourite part of that. And also, it's her second last episode. She leaves after that, so...
Spoilers for a 50-year-old story, 40-year-old story.
I think they'll get over it. Anyone seen The Crying Game? Because it's the man's a woman and the woman's a man.
Elizabeth Sladen leaves at the end of the Crying Game.
That explains the
Yeah.
penis.
Yeah.
Now I
That's a
understand.
penis.
Yeah. No, Sarah didn't
I love
have
that scene in the Crying Game where he's like, that's a penis.
Yeah.
I wondered what they look like.
That's a spicy penis.
Well, that made him laugh.
I am curious about one thing, because if Brad's first experience of Tom Baker isn't the robot, then what is your first experience of Tom
Yeah.
Baker?
I have a
What was the least
notoriously-
satanic episode you were allowed to watch?
I want to know.
Well, I think, as I said, like, it was sort of verboten, forbidden for me.
So your first
I
episode
haven't-
was Scratch Man.
Yeah. And I have a notoriously bad memory, but the story I told earlier about the invisible enemy is probably my first, strong
With Leela.
memory. Yes, with Leela. Leela and, like, K9, man. Disco Dog.
If
I
that
love him.
literally was your first story, that is a roller coaster, because literally it's like you're on a space station, there's an alien virus, then it's like Journey Inside the Human Body.
Yes.
And a robot dog.
It's basically inner space.
Yeah.
I found that one, even the first time, very confusing or something, but I loved Canine.
How do they inject the Doctor into himself? That doesn't make any sense.
Look, I did rewatch it recently, and you're right, it doesn't make any sense. It was great.
I feel like that we could do that at the start of every single episode of this. I rewatched it for this episode, and you're right, it doesn't make sense.
But you got to remember, they were writing one a week. They had I mean, if you'd filmed one of the episodes, you couldn't really change too much after that.
And
But no one was like, sorry, he injects himself into himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has to
What's
go
the
into
issue?
Normally, I can find some way of going. Yep, I'm on the journey. This is the one I went. I'm not on this journey. I don't get it.
Mate, I'm already writing next week's episode. I don't give a shit, all right?
Pretty much.
I need to bring up one thing about the invisible enemy. Like when they make the clones, and even as a child, the clones had clothes on, and I was thinking, why aren't they in the nutty?
Yeah.
This episode of Doctor Who is rated XXX.
If that was the case, I never would have been allowed to watch Doctor Who.
No, that's right.
Never.
I'm pretty sure number 96 would have been off the list of things you could watch. We weren't.
There was
allowed to
only a
watch
few
it
episodes of episode 96. Doctor 96.
What's
I
wrong
know.
with episode 96?
No.
Number 96.
Number 96 was a television show in the 70s that
Oh,
had
yeah, that one.
nudity.
Norgs.
The alien, the
lots
Norgs.
of boobs. They had the first gay people on television,
being
which was a
created without
huge
clothes.
controversy.
They did that crossover with Division 4.
Oh, yeah, where they were stealing typewriters in the nutty. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I love Australian TV.
I got my bits jammed in the paper roller.
No, I can carry more typewriters.
I think it's caught in the QWERTY. I'm sorry. Whatever the QWERTY is.
Leela. Travelling with the Doctor Leela.
I didn't like Leela at first. It did take me a little while to get used to her because I was such a big Sarah fan.
Yeah, well, Sarah is great. I mean, I watched what did I watch with Sarah?
Brad takes a controversial
Planet of
stand
Evil.
there.
Planet of Evil, which is it's set on a planet on the edge of the universe, and there's a pool that's made out of antimatter.
The antimatter. I was only thinking about that the other day. I thought I'd love to watch that again.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. They actually do a really good reconstruction of a jungle.
Yeah.
In a studio.
Oh.
With water on the floor and everything. I said, how the hell did they do this on $2.50?
Yeah.
No safety requirements there.
No, none whatsoever.
It's quite incredible that they said they put so much into that. Even when the actors came on, they were like, wow, this was one of the best sets, the jungle set that I've ever seen. The antimatter stuff lets it down a little.
Yeah, and then they have
nice jungle.
Spaceships have landed in this jungle, but they can't afford to do a spaceship, so it's just basically a cupboard that people come out of. It's like, oh, we've landed on the planet. Ooh, let's walk out of this cupboard. Oh, we're here.
The antimatter bits are so bad because they can't use real antimatter. It doesn't appear on film properly. They had to use potato instead.
Okay, so back to Sarah Jane. The whole thing about that in that episode is that her outfit is fantastic. Oh, it's like that's the only thing I could think through the whole episode. Is like, what is she wearing? That's amazing.
So this was the fashionable era of Doctor Who, wasn't it?
Obviously, yeah.
I remember her last episode, The Hand of Fear. She was wearing pink striped bib and brace, overalls. Yeah. And the doctor's trying to describe her and he can't find her. And he goes, pink stripe. And they go, what? And he goes, yes, just like Andy Pandy. So I thought Andy Pandy was in black and white when I was a kid, so I didn't know he was wearing pink striped overalls. But she was very fashionable, but she was, I don't know, I thought she was good. They were kicking around the women's lib thing, which was the 70s. I don't know if they were taking it quite so seriously.
Those women should keep at it.
If you should.
They'll get the vote sometime.
Well, somebody said recently we don't deserve the vote. We haven't done anything with it. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
Oh, my God.
I voted for the pirate party.
That was a weird episode of Doctor Who when they said that. No.
That was someone that we know. But yeah, and young. So there you go.
I am sure.
It wasn't me, just to clarify.
No, it was not Rebecca who
It
thinks
might be me.
we don't
No, it
deserve
wasn't. It's not me.
you
It's not
either.
me. It's not me.
But Leela was my first experience with a celebrity crush.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, how could you not?
I started to have feelings.
Feeling.
Weird feelings?
As a male in the 70s, that was very unusual.
Yes.
Oh, well, look, I'm not sure when that episode got to Australia, but I think I was in grade 3 when I saw it, and I didn't know what was happening in my mind. I just thought...
Much like me and Goslin Mallard.
Who?
He's from He's from...
Darkwing Duck's niece.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a
Scrooge
cartoon?
McDuck action.
Yeah. She's a cat.
I love
She's
them.
a duck. She's a duck.
You were in love with the cartoon.
Whack, 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 whack.
This is a different podcast you need to start. That podcast will be more popular. I guess this is an edit point.
Yes, this is an edit point.
Okay, going back to Sarah Jane. When she first showed up, she was totally a woman's liver. And the longer she hung around, the more like damsel in distress she became.
Yeah.
Oh, the more ankles she sprained. I think she had ankles on her wrists.
And they're just the more things that, I didn't think she was as much of a screamer as some of them were, but she'd have all these great ideas and plans, like when we were watching Genesis of the Daleks. Oh, I've got this great plan how we're going to escape, and then halfway up she'll go, oh, it's too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just kind of went, oh, God, don't do that to the character.
Yeah, but Elizabeth Sladen was just she was smashing it. She never went without a fight,
No.
Even when she was like being written as like a hopeless, oh no,
Yeah.
she was like, she always put a little edge to there.
She did.
She loved throwing in lines that weren't in the script.
She and Tom got on like a house on fire, so
Yeah.
they did quite a lot of ad-libbing together.
A lot of the sets were burnt down because of those.
Yes, that was the orange period of Doctor Who.
Yeah, they had to end most of the episodes with, well, that burnt down.
No animals or humans were harmed during the making of this episode of Doctor Who.
I always like in the Pyramid of Mars when they find the dynamite and they can't find the guy who
detonator,
owns
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And Sarah says, perhaps he sneezed. And I think it was such a funny line that she does it, and the Doctor looks at her like, oh.
I'd never say anything like that.
I thought that was really good. But no, then she left, and Leela, I don't know. Tom Baker had trouble with the character. Mm-hmm. He didn't think that the Doctor would take a complete and utter barbarian with him. So he and the two did not get on. He would cut her off in lines, or he would kind of get in front of her at the camera thing. And apparently when they were doing the Horror of Fang Rock, she got sick of it, and she did something, and she held her ground, and she did what she had to do. And apparently she gained his respect, and after that they were fine.
Wow, I never knew that.
He was quite. He could be quite. A lot of the directors and producers say he could be very difficult to work with.
Really?
But 7 years, he knew the Doctor.
Yeah.
And he was
Really,
gorgeously eccentric.
middle-aged white man in the 70s, so he knew everything.
Who would have thought?
So
Yeah.
strange, so
but
strange.
he's telling another middle-aged man in this. Like the directors weren't pulling him up for doing that.
Yeah.
So
No,
of course
no,
not.
no.
You know.
He's a star. He gets to do what he likes.
Yeah.
I love that story. I mean, me and Mark just watched The Horror of Fang Rock in the last 48 hours.
I really quite like that. You know.
And
I really
it is a
do.
tremendous Leela story. My favourite bit is where Doctor says, she says, oh, we need to get weapons and go hunt this thing, and then we can kill it, and we don't have to worry about it. And the Doctor says, no, we won't do that. And she just ignores them and grabs a knife and goes outside, I'm going to go kill this thing, I don't care.
She has her own. She goes out tracking this monster. And it's hardcore. But they've also got the juxtaposition of the other woman from the era in it.
Adelaide.
Oh.
Yes, and like the two, we were talking about.
They're so different.
Yes, there's a slapping that happens, baby.
It was just kapow.
Yeah.
Adelaide has a big scream, and Leela just like spins around.
Gives her a good slap.
It was a hysterical scream. The other, because like it's being described that they're under attack, and like Leela's just not having it. She's just wake up. Wake up, sister.
Yeah, and she gives her a good hard slap. I loved Leela and the Janus thorn. She always had a Janus thorn.
Oh,
and
yes.
you could paralyse you. So she'd
Yes,
always
I
run
remember
around
that.
with that.
Yeah.
I like to think that Tom Baker took her aside and was like, "Oh, I really respect you for going out and hunting that monster." And she's like, "It's in this. It's in this
made
script.
up.
Oh no, I really
Tom.
respect your decision to go out and hunt that monster. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, yeah. Oh, I have its respect now."
I remember the first time Tom Baker meets her, and it's on
He stands in front of her.
It's on a plane. He stands in front and goes, "Hello." Yeah, so it's a really quite memorable. Hello.
She goes to say hello, and he cuts her off.
Yeah.
Hello.
Shut up.
That still happens with women all the time.
Yeah. Do this podcast.
Oh,
True.
That's a burn on you, Adam. That's for you. It's not us.
I think he edits cuts in.
The evil planet, I think it's called.
Planet of Evil.
Planet of Evil, and the Doctor is the baddie.
Yes.
Yes.
A version of the Doctor, but he does it from the future, but he doesn't know. He's a
Terminator.
anyway.
Yes. He's a Terminator. He's naked. He comes from the future.
Anyway, he has no idea
in
when
the
he
nutty.
turns up on this planet that he's evil, that he's called the evil one. And he says to Leela, "Would you like a jelly baby?" And she goes, "It is said the evil one eats babies." I just remember that. And then he eats away.
Oh, that was glorious.
Oh my god.
Would you
that's
like
good.
a jellied baby? Here's a whole baby that I've jellied.
Yum, 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 yum.
Does
Nice and tender.
Does everyone actually have a favourite Doctor Who Tom Baker like one that's pivotal, like that they go, "Oh, that's my Tom Baker go-to"?
Oh,
Yeah.
let me think,
Okay.
because I will have.
I have two.
Okay.
But like literally, I suggested before we did this podcast, we just get a list of the episodes and name them, and we'd all go, "Wow, that's fantastic!"
Yeah.
But-
we would.
One that sticks in my mind is the Seeds of Doom.
So good.
It's like
So
I'm noticing a pattern with these episodes: the Planet of Evil, the
Yeah.
Hand of Evil, the Seeds of Doom,
Yeah,
the Blah
yeah.
of Blah.
well, it's not going to be the seeds of loveliness, is it? It's not.
Curse
really.
of the Fatal
Well,
Death.
that's the porn version.
right.
The Seeds of Loveliness.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
So the Seeds of Doom is just fantastic. It's like enviro-apocalyptic horror.
It's all for climate change. Well, before climate change was a problem.
Exactly right.
I like Doctor Who before it got all political.
It starts fantastic in the Antarctic with lots of styrofoam flying around. It's great. And there's a gigantic evil plant monster at the end. And there's a mercenary guy.
Oh, Scorby, he's a great
Yeah.
supporting character.
But remember they have to,
Scorby.
they have to make that escape from
You would
the
not
house.
say that to Scorby.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
So Seeds of Doom.
Yeah.
And and of course for Talons of Wen Chiang.
Oh,
Which is another more problematic serial in
Yes.
today's society because it has the yellow face going on.
Yes,
Hello.
it does. It has white people playing Chinese.
But it does have the
Because the
beauty.
Chinese didn't exist in the 70s.
Yeah, apparently not.
And apparently at one point I read somewhere there's a line where one of the white people dressed up as a Chinese person goes, "I know we all look the same to you." And it's like,
It says
I
here.
haven't watched it recently. I've got to
no,
go
I
back.
read that somewhere. They were talking
I
about that
do
episode.
remember that one being very dark and gothic.
Yeah, that was like it was, and the Doctor is dressed
Oh,
up
is that
as
what they
Sherlock
called
Holmes.
racism back then? Gothic.
Yeah, very dark. But there's a good story with that one. There was a Porsche. I think it was a Porsche parked on the street, and they said to everyone, "We're filming. Get everything out of the way." Porsche didn't move, so they just covered it in straw.
Yeah, because it didn't fit the time era.
Yeah.
A big pile of straw in the middle of the street.
Pile of straw.
Yeah.
And then they had a Starbucks coffee cup on top of it. No.
Yeah.
No.
And then they had to put a pile of straw over the Beatles who were walking across the street trying to take some photos. They're like, "Guys, get out of the way."
People are rude.
So Talons of Wen Chiang. It's like it's
It's
a
a really good one.
it's a Fu Manchu pastiche, and it's Victorian London, and it's got the Doctor dressed up as Sherlock Holmes running around, and Leela, of course, the ultimate savage, dressed up as a Victorian gentle lady.
No, isn't she in pants for a lot of
Yeah,
it?
she
and
is.
then
And
she puts
she just like this. Nah. Give me my knife. I'm gonna fuck some shit up. Yeah.
because of course Leela was brought in for the dads to bring the dads in to watch Doctor Who. That was one of the things.
Song for Daddy.
Well, she was.
Oh my god.
Dad, can we watch Doctor Who?
Daddy time now.
Yeah, I reckon we could watch Doctor Who.
In different rooms.
Go play
I
with the
hope.
Lego.
Anyway, so she was brought in specifically to bring in the dads.
Mission
So
accomplished.
Sarah had brought in. it's funny. My husband's first crush at about grade 3 was Catwoman from Batman.
Oh yeah, but Gosling Mallard was you thought was weird. Catwoman.
Well,
You're gonna need
Catwoman was a
different
real
producer
person.
for that show.
She's just a woman in a cat suit.
Sorry,
She's
let
not
me.
a
Let's
cat.
just pause the podcast. What do you mean? What do you mean? She's not a cat?
No, Catwoman's
she's not a cat.
No, she's not.
Get the scotch. Get the scotch.
All I'm doing
Get the
is
Scotch Guard and the
ruining
Scotch.
Adam's life one podcast at a time.
One podcast at a time. Welcome to Why Adam's Dreams Are Ruined.
So Catwoman had the power to change into a different actress at will.
Yes, she did. His first
She's a
crush
Time
was
Lord.
Julie Newmar, and his second one then was
They just didn't refer to her.
Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt.
So is Batman,
She
because
was
he's
so
just
good.
changed himself into Robert Pattinson.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
What?
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
he's the new Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twilight,
He's got a sparkle.
Sparkle Man.
He was in Harry Potter as well. Let's not
Yes,
forget.
Oh, that's right. He
Agree.
was good in Harry Potter. Maybe.
Well, all he had to do was die. So you know.
Yeah, but maybe Twilight was just such a badly written thing. Anyway, who wants to talk about that shit?
Yeah.
Let's talk about. So those are your two.
Those are my two, yeah. Talons of Wen-Chang, great, and it brings in a great sci-fi element at the end with some time travel, and there's
And that chess, the Chinese chess.
oh my god!
I
So
do really like that. I have to watch
yeah,
it
I mean,
again.
problematic politically, but like from a this is a good story point of view, really good.
Yeah, it's a product of its era. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not going to stop watching Breakfast at Tiffany's because they made Mickey Rooney the Chinese landlord. I think it's rude that they made Mickey Rooney the Chinese landlord and could have got a Chinese guy, but I still love the movie. So it's kind of, every time he comes on, I just go, Anyway.
Throw things
So
at the screen.
give us your two favourite Tom Bakers.
I would say...
Angry Tom Baker and Happy Tom Baker.
I was going to say Tom Baker 1 and Tom Baker 2.
Anything with Tom
Oh,
Baker.
I love that ABC Kids show.
Yeah.
Tom Baker's in the Shakers. I don't know.
And Adam's gone off on his own rant.
On topic, Adam. Can you get on topic, mate?
Beck, that's enough scotch for him, okay? That is
I'm
enough.
sorry, he's got like one of those baby bottle tops
Yeah.
on it.
If you mime any more scotch, you'll
I
get
just,
done.
I just think if you didn't put it in the camel pack on his back, we'd be better off. But anyway. Yeah, stop it.
Should get one of them beer
Hang on,
hats.
Mark, what are your two?
No, after you.
Ooh. The
It's-
two of you will stare each other down until one of you falls.
Because we don't always agree, but we really love Tom Baker.
We do, and we don't always agree, and that's fine. Look, I would have to say Genesis of the Daleks.
Oh yeah, quality stuff.
I can just watch that a million times because I love it.
If I had it in my hand,
Yes! Wrecking of my thumb.
I would.
Oh, I love that.
would do it.
I do.
got a capsule I could break? That would be pretty sweet. No, it's a hypothetical.
You know, because if you want the entire universe wiped out, I'll do it. I will.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you.
Yes.
Hello, I've decided to abandon the Daleks. I will now be working on this capsule. What have I done?
I could be a capsule.
Night is there going, I'll be your capsule, Mr.
I love you. They get buried together. I would have to say that, and then I think there's a lot that I like to watch because they're good fun and I enjoy them. But I got to say, and this is going to be really controversial because this is one that people don't like. But
I'm
it's
prepping my outrage.
It's
Trial of
the
a Time Lord.
Mask of Mandragula because they do a tour of the TARDIS at the beginning.
Okay.
I love that. It is Sarah's last one. Giuliano is kind of in love with her, so it's kind of, that's nice. She gets a little bit of a love thing. She gets to be possessed. She's quite good at being
By
possessed.
Giuliano.
Nice.
No,
his name?
by Hieronymus. He's a baddie. And I quite like the Mandragula helix. And yeah, so I mean, I know a lot of people don't like it, but because it's Sarah's second last story and I get a tour of the TARDIS, I just love it. So there you go. There's my two.
Okay.
Mark.
Well, look, we have common ground. Genesis of the Daleks. It features one of the best, we're not so different, you and I, sections.
Capsules! Does anyone have a capsule here? I'm looking for capsules!
That's exactly right.
Panadol, no.
It's just a great backstory to the Daleks. It just lives up to every bit of it. There's just so much going on there. And like the inter stuff between the Thals and the Khaleds, You know, like there's literally this giant war that's consuming the planet. There's just so much.
And
there's a giant war consuming a planet of people who look exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there thinking, that's right. I mean, if we were all atheists, there'd be factions of atheists who all hated each other, I'm sure. We just can't help ourselves but find, something different about you so that we can be better.
And what about the mutos?
Oh, we just did a review of it, and calling them mutos is so hard to call them that. It feels so awful.
Why must we destroy anything that is of beauty?
I am not an animal. I am a muto.
Yeah,
with an elephant leg.
Are we not men? We are muto.
I love it all, but my other one is Ark in Space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was nearly my second.
Yeah, there's many more that are all close thirds, but there's so much in the Ark in Space because you find it about where humans are at in this particular time, and the doctors, having a nostalgia moment, going, "Oh, look at these humans, just out amongst the stars," and then gets sucked into this pivotal moment where they nearly get wiped out with the Wirren and
Wirren and the bubble wrap.
Noah, the captain of the station. Vira!
I know.
His bubble wrap hand.
Yeah. Body horror and bubble wrap together at last.
I reckon they did well with the bubble wrap.
That's fantastic. But everyone knew it was bubble wrap, but it was still terrifying to see this person degenerate into some sort of weird muto. Sorry.
Let me tell you, when I was a kid, I had no idea it was bubble wrap. I thought the guy was turning into a fucking Wirren.
I'd never seen bubble wrap before, so for me, it's like when bubble wrap turns up, I'm going, this is bloody Wirren's skin.
Oh, so I grew up in the Gums, which is like in the middle of nowhere, so we didn't have bubble wrap, sheep. Where'd you grow up that you didn't have bubble wrap?
Oh, I was in Samsonville.
They just didn't get the bubble wrap, just didn't make it.
And then a package turned up and you're like, no, it's a Wirren!
That's right.
Oh, well.
You're like, oh, I didn't realise you realised we got you a statue of a Wirren. That's weird.
There you go.
So they had bubble wrap in Bundaberg.
Yeah, well, my dad ran a furniture removals company, so I was all about the bubble wrap, baby. I was making it rain with bubble wrap. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, bring on the bubble wrap, baby, you.
I was born in the 80s, so after I was birthed, they wrapped me in bubble wrap, and everything was plastic back then.
And your parents popped you. God, that would be something entertaining to do after you've had a baby. Because after you've had a baby, it's a bit shit. The whole thing's a bit shit.
And you just wrap that baby up in plastic.
And then you just...
Isn't that what people that are parents at the moment do with their children? Just wrap them in bubble wrap.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Bubble wrap kids.
Political.
PC gone mad.
Well, that's very true. I mean, I had a different childhood, although I was brought up on a property in the middle of nowhere. Who was going to steal me? Nobody. Where was I going to go? Just up another tree. Really? There was not much to do.
In fact,
The tree was going to steal you.
Yes.
Yeah,
stealing would be preferable to your current situation.
Yeah.
So you were talking
Hostage.
about companions now. The fourth Doctor is the first non-human companion and the only Time Lord companion with Romana.
And she has the ability to change actors as well.
What was Romana's full title? Does anyone remember?
No.
Did anyone write it down? Because I went looking for it and I couldn't find it. She had this really long name.
Romana Banana.
Romana Balaladi something Fred.
Yep.
And the doctor said, well, I can either call you Romana or Fred. She said, I'll take Romana. He said, okay.
Oh, it was Romana, Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow's Polka Dot Bikini.
Oh, I like that.
God. And she was afraid to come out of the water.
Because she'd regenerate.
Yeah.
One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people.
No, that was Tom Baker's name. That was Tom Baker's name.
That was the master, actually.
I liked the original Romana.
Yeah, she was cool.
When you first see her, and Tom, I think has he fallen down or something? And he just looks up, and she's dressed all in white. She's tall, statuesque. And he just looks
male gaze.
up, and they go, oh, hello, daddy. Material for all of the kids' fathers to come along. She's beautiful and quite stunning.
Yes, son, we can watch Doctor Who today.
We're all watching it now.
Is that Romana in it? Because we can watch it.
I really don't know how to pronounce this, so I might actually hand it to Adam to pronounce
this will be good.
name.
Yeah.
Romana. I don't know why you couldn't say that.
Yeah. Jeez, Beth.
Fred.
I can hardly say, what is it, dickhead?
And yet you managed to.
She's not editing that out.
Raman Advor Atre Lundar. Raman Advor Trey Londar.
Well, there must be something in the end because there's a Fred in there somewhere and he decides, or there may not be.
If you like this podcast and can pronounce that name,
please.
email
Yeah,
an
please
audio
do.
file in of that.
Please. But anyway, he wanted to call her Romana or Fred. She picked Romana.
I would have picked Fred.
Yeah, I think. But Romana was very serious, the first Romana.
Well, Fred is obviously a character from Angel. So.
Romana 1 was
serious.
statuesque and beautiful.
In that she was a
Romana
statue
2
and she
was
just stood there.
so cute.
She was, and Tom Baker's wife.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
going to ask. Cause
The one that he ran away from to start acting?
No,
No,
that
no.
one was the one he ran away from to start acting.
Lala. They did a
Lala
cartoon, Lala Ward, they did a cartoon of their wedding and they had like Cybermen and Daleks and all these little people up there. And they say, does anyone object? And everyone goes, yes.
They also did some ads in the 80s.
Yes.
For Prime Computer.
They did. They're very, very dated.
Oh.
At one point, the Doctor is overjoyed to have a Prime Computer as he's seen them on Gallifrey. And having one means that he's up to date.
Nice.
Within 10 years of the ads, Prime Computer would be out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lasted 10 years after that. That's good work.
Yes.
But I will say that was, though I've seen those ads, about 30 minutes of just them two flirting. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
At one point, Romana goes, "Can you ask it how to treat a woman?" And it's like, "Marry her." And it's like, what is going on? This isn't about computers anymore.
It never was.
It's just like off the show that I used to watch when I was younger. Like, there's a little skit where somebody says, "How do you lose a woman?" And one of the main characters is like, "You forget to cherish her." And it comes out the mouth of like a 10-year-old boy too.
Oh.
It was so cute.
And have we also seen the...
Or you go for a hike and halfway through you run away back to the car and drive her home.
Why would I go
another
for a
way.
hike?
Practical skills then, IKEA.
Yeah.
Teaching the practical
I
method.
just like you to think things through, Beck, just in case.
Have we also seen the Tom Baker ads that he did in 1997 for New Zealand superannuation services?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Dressed as the Fourth Doctor using a sonic screwdriver and controlling a TARDIS console.
No.
The number to call given in the ad was 0800 TARDIS.
Nice.
Yeah, and he fully goes, "You have to save for your future." Well, that you must be saying that's all well and good for him. He's a Time Lord. Like, it's full on references to Doctor Who. They're not trying to mask it.
Yeah.
Except the theme that they use is not the Doctor Who theme. That's for sure.
they
It's
could
like an
not
off-key
get that.
version.
So do you know who Lala Ward is married to now?
Me.
Richard Dawkins.
You are joking.
No, Richard Dawkins. I was pretty sure she was. I just looked it up just to check. I didn't want
Oh,
to
my
give up.
God.
Yeah.
She's like, "Tom, you used to be a priest. You were training to be a priest. I don't believe in that anymore, so I'm going with the atheist number one."
She obviously likes intelligent, eccentric,
Jerks.
difficult.
Jerks. Let's call them what they are. They're jerks, okay?
Well, yeah, she obviously...
We don't use the J word here on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Jabronis.
Jesus?
Jabronis, yeah.
We prefer dickhead.
So, are we moving into end space now?
Oh, no.
I
I think
struggled.
that's your answer.
I struggled with end space.
You
but
mean
I thought it
E-Space
was-
or the Green Universe?
Oh, that is
E-space.
E-space. Sorry, my mistake. E-space.
Well,
yes.
we're in End Space apparently.
Okay.
We're End Space. E-Space. Is
I
the
didn't
universe.
like E-Space. I
Okay.
didn't like it.
Does anyone know anyone who liked E-space?
Well, apart from, I sort of got into Adric a little because he was annoying and I like them having to deal with that.
He wore his stupid star
Yeah,
for
so-
his bloody math thing.
Yeah.
But it would be so pivotal.
I'm going
It
to
would
say...
be so pivotal that
Oh,
gold
yeah,
star.
that's not
Why
for this
are you
episode,
laughing
though.
about his star?
No, I'm just laughing at like I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
And it just sounds so
Welcome to
ridiculous.
my
Okay.
world.
No, it's all right. It's all right. The listeners will understand.
I'm going to take over from this point, okay?
Righto.
Grab the
This
reins.
Oh, sorry.
is...
I'm sorry. It's your podcast.
It's my podcast
Yeah.
now. Get out of here, mate. Okay, E-space was where it started to go downhill.
E-Space is definitely where it went downhill, and I think after Romana 2 left, Tom Baker's heart wasn't in it either.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I found Legopoulos, sad because he was leaving, but I also found it a depressing
Yeah.
episode because he had companions he hadn't picked. He was, I don't know, he just felt like he was out of his time.
Yeah. So it all started with the sky going green and like, what the hell is going on here? This makes no sense. Mm-hmm. Like nothing that happened in E-Space needed to be in a different universe.
No, none of it. Oh, except Romana stayed.
Well, that's the thing. And then you have the ending where you leave E-Space, but you have to leave both Romana and K9. It's like, no, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to us?
And she goes off with lion people.
Oh, boy.
Look, that was traumatizing because, like, I hadn't enjoyed it. And then what?
Yeah.
What? You're leaving K9? This is the worst.
Yeah, and you're leaving, Romana, who was, great. Because Douglas Adams was writing when Romana...
Rest his soul.
I love him. When Romana regenerated...
But everyone else who's dead that we talked about during the episode, fuck them.
I'd pee on their graves.
Yesterday was his birthday, I believe.
More than you already do.
I would never pee on anyone's grave. I would get terrible stage fright, but I still wouldn't do it anyway.
Okay.
Maybe don't invite an audience. Like, don't
Oh!
be into a show.
We're doing it if I don't have an audience.
They've bought tickets. You need to
Okay.
perform.
Adam, you don't know much about performance art, do you?
Yeah.
You're the one who got the grant to do the show from the government, okay? Jesus Christ.
I didn't think anyone would actually give me money
It was all in your application.
to pee on a grave. There you go. I got to pick someone now.
It's the jewel of Briz Funny Fest this year.
Featured at the opening gala.
And thank God for my big bladder. It's a half-hour show.
Oh,
Wow.
Now I'm going to that one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you
Big
do
letters, I
it.
cannot lie.
I've got my back. I've got my back to people.
Who's
It's
opening
not
for
weird.
you? Who's opening for you?
The direction you're facing makes all the difference.
You are. I say I've got my back to the
Oh, I
audience.
just come on
'cause
and
it's
take a
not
shit
weird.
and then you
yeah,
come on
you
in.
take a crap. Yeah, it's great. It's a number
Is
two
that
and a number
her
one.
show or yours?
Yeah, he shits on my show
The name
all over it.
the name of the show is Number One Fan.
Was there no other saving graces of E-Space at all?
Look,
No.
But what I was going to say, Douglas Adams, he wanted the second Romana to just keep changing her face. He wanted a new actress every week for her to come out and go, what about this one? Nah, I don't like it. And then the next episode, at the beginning, she comes out with the new face going, well, what about this one? No. So anyway, she does kind of do that at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's the first time you see someone get to pick.
Yeah.
Because the doctor says, it's a bit of a lottery, and yet it's an interesting thing that she gets to pick who she's going to regenerate, and we don't know why she's regenerating. I don't know why the first Romana died. She didn't, did she?
Did she get injured?
She got fired.
Did she get injured? Oh, she left. She actually didn't get fired. She left. She felt it wasn't going
But
well.
they didn't actually justify her regeneration. She
No.
didn't get hit
It just
by
felt like a change, I think.
No, and she just changed into Princess Astrid, who'd been in the episode before.
But Mark was sitting there going, all of those different women, we could have had them as Romana.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
I'm still getting over the fact that your parents thought it was satanic.
A lot of things were satanic when I was growing up.
Breakfast
I wasn't allowed
cereal.
to watch breakfast cereal. Satan knows.
Cocoa Pops.
Actually, cornflakes.
Megadeth.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch Countdown because
What?
that was too full on.
Wow.
Countdown to Satan.
That's right.
If you can't watch
Countdown to
Doctor Who is-
Damnation.
I guess you didn't have a Kiss album either.
Oh my God, that's probably why I was not allowed to watch Countdown.
No, I'd say it's probably Molly Meldrum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
But your
summons
parents love
a lot.
Harry Potter for some reason.
Yeah,
It's so
they're
strange. Oh,
totally
geez.
into the Muggle thing. Yeah, but
Just the Muggle side of Harry Potter. They're not into the actual magic.
Did they actually say they're Muggle curious? Is that...
Muggle, here it is.
We all are.
I am now a huge Kiss fan, though. So there you go.
There you go. Well, I had a friend I went to school with, and her parents were very, very religious in primary school, and we used to all play Bewitched. Does anyone remember Bewitched growing up?
Yes.
We play Samantha Tabitha. She was never allowed to join in because witches were satanic,
Yeah.
and so therefore we were worshipping Satan
Yeah.
at 8.
Yeah. Well, you got to start early.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know how to worship
I mean,
Satan at 8.
just because some people start at 4 doesn't mean you're,
Yeah.
you're late, you know.
I felt I was too late.
You're a late bloomer.
Late
in the
I
satanic-
started at 6.
I don't think my parents are going to listen to this.
Oh, that's the only reason we had you on the podcast to
Yeah.
get your parents to listen.
Got to boost
We
the
really,
numbers.
we really want to crack that nut. We'll get them eventually.
And so, did you find like E-Space was the end of Tom's reign as the king?
Yeah, it was the end of goodness.
It was.
It was like the
In
end
the
of
entire universe.
Did we have a new producer, or I can't remember?
Nathan
Turner.
Turner, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah.
Philip Hinchcliffe left. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
Hinchcliffe.
it was the end of innocence. It was like it stopped being fun.
Yeah, Yeah, it did. It did. It got serious. It got annoying. It got silly. Silly even for a kid.
The Warriors Gate, where the gate was, the spaces were getting smaller between everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, I did feel a sense of oppression during that episode. But apart from that, no.
Yeah, I mean, there are bits and pieces I always like from it, but I've got Logopolis and I watched it again the other day, and it's sad. It's sad because he leaves. It's sad because the Master's in it, because I found the classic Master the biggest dickhead in the world, and he's always got some dickhead plan that doesn't work.
Wasn't that Alpha Centauri?
Yeah, no, Alpha Centauri does look like a penis.
Well, hello, one thing, she is a goddess.
I love her voice.
And only outranked in beauty by Louise Jameson. She's hot.
Alpha Centauri, right. Where the Australian director Lenny said, for God's sake, put a cape on it. It looks like a penis.
Oh, Lenny Whitehead? Whitehead?
No, not our Lenny. Not our Lenny.
Lenny Kilmeister from Motorhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy like, for God's sake, put a cape on it.
Isn't Lenny Kilmeister the bad guy from
I'll look
Black
it
Panther?
up because he's Australian and we should know an Australian's name. Just hang on. Can you look up an Australian director of Tom Baker's era in Doctor Who if you're not doing something like texting your friends to tell them how fucking boring we are?
I know, I just keep getting these texts
Adam
telling
keeps
me
getting the
this is
texts
fucking
as he's the
boring.
only person I do text.
Adam, you're boring. This show's boring me, Adam.
And I send back, I know.
I'm in it.
I know I'm boring.
Once you
I know
finally
I'm
get what I
boring.
feel.
I was actually going to say, what after we left the glory of E-Space, can anyone remember any serials, any stories that happened besides
Logopolis?
which was the end of everything?
No.
It's difficult.
Wow, I just feel like we just spent so much... Oh, Nissa and
the Keeper
her
of
father,
Traken.
Keeper of Traken. That
Keep
wasn't...
of Traken, the Melker, the Melkor.
Yeah.
That was,
The Milker.
The Milker.
The Milker.
Milky.
You're going after
I
the
will
Milker.
milk you, Tom Baker.
Yeah, that got creepy.
That was a great episode,
The only way I can save you is by drinking the milk of a Tom Baker.
Oh, God.
No, that's fine.
that is
That's fine. I'll die. It's all right. Don't worry. I'll die. That's fine.
I'm ready to go. I can milk you now.
Yeah. Don't worry. They come from his nipples. I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to think of anyone who's a male lactating just in general. But anyway, I will think of it now.
Thank you.
We like to call it milk.
Milk.
Male milk.
Man milk. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, I did like...
Male milk. We don't know which end it comes from.
Take your choice.
I
Take your
like
pick.
that.
So coming to a store near you.
So when you drink this, it's a 50-50 chance of what's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, the Keeper of Traken I liked.
Yeah.
And I did like Nissa. Not for Tom Baker, but I liked her for Peter Davidson. And I liked Tegan for Peter Davidson.
There was a lot of setup for Peter Davidson happening in the last season.
A lot. And it was almost like Tom felt... Yeah, I just felt like he was ignored, and then he trusted the Master, and, he's not that stupid, is he? Everybody knows you don't trust the Master. He just shrinks people or has some ridiculous
He
plan.
shrinks people.
Unless
Stick a
you want
flower
to
on
be
you.
shrunken, then you trust the
Yeah,
master
that's true.
explicitly.
Right, yes, yeah, I remember now. He does shrink people.
Yeah, that's all he does. What's your plan? Nothing general. I'm just going to cause chaos. Shrink you. That's what he does in Logopolis. He changes the whole universe because he shrinks some guys. Such a dickhead.
My favourite Coldplay song. I will try to shrink
you.
I think
Pew, 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 pew.
the last season was just like, it just felt like it was a bit of mourning, really.
Yeah,
Didn't it? It was
yeah.
like, we've had this great run and now it's all coming to an end.
Yeah, and it's just never, ever going to be good again.
And it never was.
Wow. I'm sorry, I liked Peter Davidson. Not Tom Baker liked, but I enjoyed him.
Yeah, it's
and I
good.
enjoyed most of his stories. It was Colin Baker that they didn't set him up right. They wrote terribly for him, and that was hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Tom is in pop culture. He will be forever.
Yeah.
The
Doctor Who.
Doctor. Yeah. Yeah.
Lenny Mayne.
Lenny Mayne.
I don't know what you're doing, but
I'm looking at the Doctor Who in Australia Wikipedia page, and
She's
couldn't
applying
find
for
anything.
jobs. I think she's applying for a job somewhere.
Thank you so much. So the Australian director who's now passed away, who told them to put a cape on Alpha Centauri because
if you like it, then you should have put a cape on it. If you like it, then you should have put a cape on it.
Who? What's his name again? Excuse me.
Beyonce. Beyonce is the name of that.
Lenny Beyonce?
Lenny Beyonce.
Leonard
Edward Mayne.
Thank you.
Sounds like a protagonist in a H.P. Lovecraft story.
Yeah, he's an Aussie.
Lenny Mayne.
And they said he was very Aussie.
Nice.
What's up, love? I'm Lenny Mayne.
Yeah,
Let's
Lenny.
get this thing
Imagine
fucking shot, shall we?
Let's get that penis
No,
alien in
he's
here
Australian.
and get going.
All right, love. I'm Lenny Mayne
Okay.
from the docks.
Rest his soul.
Really
Yeah.
does not sound Australian.
Piss on that one.
Okay. All right, welcome to part of the podcast where we talk about rest his soul or piss on his grave. All right, let's go around.
I would just like to have been there the day Alpha Centauri came out and that Australian voice cuts across the BBC and goes, "Oh, fuck a duck, put a cape on that thing. Looks like a penis."
Wait until you see the hair shoot out from the top. Shh. Shh. No. That's worse.
It's got a milk fountain. Sorry, I don't know what I'm.
All right, we need to end up. That's
right.
it for this
Okay.
episode. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, we've enjoyed it because the three of us just had a lovely old chat.
Yeah,
Let's try to
absolutely.
get at least an hour out of that.
Oh boy,
I
what's
think
the time?
Some of it was
Jesus.
about Tom Baker.
I reckon you could get 2 episodes out of this.
Oh, I doubt it, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
2 good episodes?
No.
Okay, well,
but
there we go.
2.
That's where the point of contention is.
2 short episodes.
It's 5 minutes each.
Yeah.
All right, now I have a question. Everybody who comes on the show has to come up with their Time Lord name.
Oh God.
Now, Mark's
The
is
salvager.
the Salvager. Beck is
The artist.
Adam. Yeah.
I've
The
just
nerd.
realised that that's the first time you've actually asked me in the group when you're explaining this question.
Well, now you're mic'd up. You never used to be mic'd up.
That's not a good thing, though.
And I'm the commander because my family think I'm a little bossy.
Oh yeah.
Just a little.
Can't imagine.
I
how they
don't
got
know
that.
where they get that shit from. I don't know.
So that's crazy shit.
They must be living with someone else.
Yeah.
What about you, Brad? What are you?
Come on, Brad, now. Now! Oh, sorry.
Yeah, generally, I was thinking about it as while I was driving here. I said, I'll have to think of something to make sure I don't come up blank when they ask me. And then I was
Oh,
like,
the blank doctor. I love that one.
the blanker. No, something inappropriate. So, like, I generally...
Inappropriate.
The fondler.
Nobody get in the TARDIS with the fondler, okay? Because it's all going to turn
that's all
out.
right.
I do have a
kids, we
gift
can watch
for
Doctor Who
saying
instead.
inappropriate things.
So you could be...
The miscreant or something like
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
I like the
The
miscreant.
miscreant. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
so-
that 90s emo band, The Miscreants.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. So we turn up at the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doctor Who, Doctor Who, I want to kill myself, Doctor Who.
Yeah, it was good.
So what happens then is we turn up at the planet, we get everything fixed, it's all great, you say one wrong thing,
Yeah, like-
and the war's back on.
And
Yeah.
you start fondling
Put a
the
fucking
local
cape on that
populace.
one, baby.
Oh, don't fondle Davros, he doesn't like it.
But
What
he's
is
got,
there to fondle?
he's
Just
got
that
those
one
eyes.
shaky hand.
What are you saying? He's always got one hand below the deck.
He's got those eye sockets. They're pretty.
Anyway, it's been a great show.
He's got an
Thank
eye
you.
here.
We'll do our final segment, What is there to fondle, and then we'll be done.
Things I'd like to fondle on Davros. I want that to be a new segment.
The top 5 things to fondle on Davros.
I bet his eye, his electric eye, if you licked it, it would be like licking a 9-volt battery.
I want to know if it is.
I'm just saying. We've all thought it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what we're all thinking.
I just want to fondle his bumps. That's all I want to do.
You just imagine just going up, going, Davros. Ooh, it's just like a 9-volt
reminds
battery.
me of the
Then he
capsule.
says,
It reminds
we're
me
not
of
so
the
different,
capsule.
you and I.
That's the lemony aftertaste.
Let me lick your eyes. That's why I created the Daleks and their giant eye stalk.
See?
So that the eyes would be easier to lick. They reach down and I lick them.
You could probably do more than just lick an eye stalk.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit
Tell
phallic.
on.
Oh, really? God, Beck, there's nothing. What else would you want to do? Don't you just see things
I
and
don't
want to
know.
lick them.
Okay, thank you so much, Brad. Mark, do you have anything you'd like to promote in 2019?
Oh, yes. We're doing a show called Salty Sea Dogs. It finished last night.
Right,
Yeah,
fantastic.
but you'll do it again.
But we're doing it at a private birthday party that you can't attend.
Do you want to give out the address right now?
Shit.
I will say that I do comic books.
Oh, really?
And if you want to read them, you can go to Edge Comics. That's Edge, COMIX.com.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see samples. You'll have links to buy them digitally and physically, and give them a go. I love them.
Wow, so you're an artist as well?
I am an artist. I've been doing it for 25 years, and I have a whole heap of stuff that I must sell. Please buy my comics, please.
I think that he probably is better suited for the artist role because he's been an artist longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, but that's not your fault that you're young.
Yeah, it's my
In
fault.
25 years, you'll still be the artist.
He's
baby.
also been fondling longer than you've been
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
My career in fondling has only just begun.
Yeah. I know. She fondled me once. I liked it, and she ran away. I'm
Beck
upset.
fondled Nicchia and she liked it.
And then Beck ran away, and I never saw her
We
again.
can't mention it on the podcast.
Yeah, cut that out.
And will you be at Supernova this year to sell your wares?
I certainly will.
Fantastic.
Oh, good.
Look out for
Edge
the
Comics.
Miscreant.
A miscreant. Throw a cape on it. Yeah.
If you like it, then you should have thrown a cape on it.
Oh my god.
I am so going to wear capes from now on.
No capes.
Oh, cape.
Oh, just in case anyone thinks I look like a big penis and I can pop a cape on, and no one will think I look like one.
Dick in a cat.
So you're finally reading those comments that people are saying about the podcast.
You look like a penis, pop a cape on. Yeah, I thought it was a joke, but apparently it's not.
And Mark, anything else that you would like to plug?
Well, look, I'm also in Ho Hum Musical Improv. It's musicals improvised on the spot based on audience suggestion, which you are also part of.
That's right.
Adam.
Yes.
And you will, when it gets closer to the date, you will plug the hell out of this.
I will, definitely. We will also be at Briz Funny Fest. Also, just check out Briz Funny Fest. It's going to be friggin' awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm always plugging all in. So it's the last Friday of every month. It's the only paid gig in for non-professionals or semi-professionals. Paid gig.
And as always, you can catch me, Adam O'Sullivan Comedian, on Facebook and thenerdinfinite.com. D4WH is on Facebook. Give our page a like for updates and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at D4WHpod. We'll post questions and polls and would love your input and feedback. Rate and review us on iTunes, recommend us on Facebook, and follow us on Podbean. We are also now available on Spotify and Stitcher. Help us get the word out. Tell your friends about us. And if you see someone on the street wearing a Doctor Who shirt, politely go up to them and suggest our podcast.
D4WH is going live. Can you believe that? Live from the TARDIS, actually live from Hayaba on August the 14th, 5 p.m. $15 online for tickets or $20 at the door. Or you can use our code DALEK, D-A-L-E-K, and get 20% off your tickets. Please come along and meet your hosts, Adam, myself, our very trusty Beck Tech, and our two guests, Glenn Stevens and Beck Buckingham. Hope to see you there. Bring a friend.
Get the word out. Can I get a suggestion?
Oh, you're going to improv. Okay. A quarry.
A quarry.
Yes.
You might be in a quarry filming an episode of Doctor Who, trying to do your political party where you want more quarries and wanting to turn the entire world into quarries. I think this is going rather well. You call yourself the Quarry Party because obviously, you're into quarries.
It's very quarry heavy.
The only people who vote for you are the people who were in the Quarrymen, which turned into the Beatles.
Which turned into...
Keep going.
There's only one left.
There's two left.
Oh, sorry.
Ringo's still
Sorry,
alive.
Ringo.
I know it's easy to forget Ringo, but he is still alive.
Sorry, Ringo.
And then, listen to D4WH in a quarry. And if you do, take a picture and we'll... Until next time, keep searching the skies for the Doctor!
Yeah, the improv is so good. Don't forget to miss it.
This has been a production of The Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH. I'm Adam O'Sullivan, and joining me as always, she's wrapped up herself in a... fucking hell.
Right on!
That is American rude right there.
2 minutes in, we still haven't started the
I
episode.
have wrapped myself up in fucking hell.
Oh boy.
Did I sell that at the shops?
I am like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you're a spout and pestilence.
Yes.